Talk about the self beyond mind.
So this is kind of weird, but because it's experiential, but let's understand a couple things. So who are you?
That has been a question I've been asking myself every meditation.
Okay, so let's just answer simply. Like, don't answer.
What I used to say is, I'm Charlie.
Great,
I'm a
let's start with that.
YouTuber.
Okay.
I, live here.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
So you're Charlie. You're a YouTuber. Have you been a YouTuber your whole life?
No.
Have you been you your whole life?
Yes.
Okay. So now this is interesting, right? So like, let's say I identify as a doctor. I identify as a dad. So I'll ask you a question. Would you identify as successful?
I would probably identify as successful.
In the past, would you identify as unsuccessful?
Yes.
Okay. So if you look
And
at,
do I fear in the future that I may identify?
Sure. So this is and this is why I love the yogis, because we can get into this. The way that they understand the mind is different from the West, but and I think it's much more helpful for a person, like from a subjective perspective. But so if we look at who you are, I identify with certain characteristics. I'm a man. I'm a dad. I'm a doctor. But I was me long before I was a dad or I was a doctor, or even before I knew I was a man, right? Maybe I identified as a boy, and even before that, I'm always me.
Yeah.
So this is where in the East, there's this concept of ahamkara, which is loosely translated into ego, but the technical translation is the sense of I. So if you say, I am ... and you write down all of those qualities, all of those are a part of your ahamkara. I am rich, I am poor, I'm ugly, I am healthy, I am unhealthy. All of those states can change.
Yeah.
So, but if you really look at it, you've always been you. You were you before you even knew your name was Charlie. You were you after you were Charlie. You were you when you were successful. You were you when you were unsuccessful.
And would you contend that if I had bumped my head and had amnesia, that the me would persist? Like, does memory is required for this, or no?
Not at all.
Okay.
So this is where, and so all of the attributes that we identify with,
Even our memories,
Sure, even our memories, right? So, and this is where it's super cool stuff. But I've had some interesting experiences in meditation with past lives. I've even done psychotherapy with people around past lives, which really changes the game of like understanding who you are, because they have an experience or a memory or a trauma that is actually not of this life. So then it's like, well, hold on a second, what does that even mean?
Well, I definitely want to come back to that. Yeah.
But so if we sort of look at it, the attributes of Charlie, the qualities of Charlie can change over time, but you've always been you. There's something that's always you, no matter whether you're successful or unsuccessful. And that is the true self. And that is sort of like the part that experiences everything else. So a good analogy is if you look at, like, let's say I'm watching a movie, all kinds of things can change on the screen, but the person who's watching stays the same, whether it's raining or shining, or whether people are happy or unhappy, whether you experience emotions, sadness, unhappiness, happiness, elatement, all of those things are fluctuations within the mind, but the experiencer stays the same. So you are the one who was successful. You are the one who was unsuccessful. You are the one who's ugly. You're the one who's happy.
And I have the capacity for any and everything is what it sounds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so the cool thing about for people who are kind of lost here, it's the part of you that actually doesn't change at all throughout the whole course of your life.
So okay. And I know that the answer to this really depends on how far out we zoom and how, because that's been my experience, at least when you zoom out, it's all one. It's very simple. And then you zoom into varying degrees and you go, well, okay, there's separation at this level. But when you think of that true self, as you sort of described it, is there an essence other than spaciousness and potential? Is there, like what I have found, and maybe this is a different level down, that as I sink into trust and I let go of the shoulds, I find love. I find genuinely inspired, not calculated, unconditional love. And I don't live there, certainly, but I've touched it and I've seen it, and I'm trying to. It's a nice place to be, and I try to bring it more into my life. If you want to go deeper on this, more confidence, more charisma, and how to show up in a way that has presence in every area of your life, we've built a program that will help you do exactly that. Here's what one student had to say. I went from this very weird person who missed social cues to this guy that could keep a conversation going and make people laugh. The course is called Charisma University. It's had tens of thousands of students go through it, 30 days long, fully guaranteed. If you don't think it was worth it, you get a refund right from inside the program. There's a link on the screen here and in the description. I hope you decide to check it out.